Good day, everyone. For today's lesson, we will be discussing the topic of sports games. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to learn about the following: definition of sports games, features that characterize sports games, legal issues of sports games with team or league license, and structure of sports games, gameplay types, action mapping, and AI. What are sports games? Sports games simulate sporting events as they are in real life. Sports games encourage direct comparison with the real world, but not all sports games are ultra-realistic. Some sports games simplify a sport and deliberately make it more extreme for dramatic purposes. Most of these kinds of games are designed to appeal to kids who might not know much about the real sport. Game features. The main gameplay mode in a sports game is match play, simulating the sport itself as it is played. Outside of match play, most of the game's modes relate to other aspects of the sport, studying the athletes' ratings and performance statistics, hiring and trading them, deciding who the starting athletes will be, and following the sports match or tournament schedule on a calendar. The player's role is most commonly that of an athlete, but in a team sport. The player's focus of control usually follows the action rather than being tied to a single individual. The player may sometimes elect to play as the coach, which selects the starting athletes for the team, sets offensive and defensive strategies, and makes athlete substitutions during the match. The general manager hires and fires athletes, trying to recruit the best athletes within the limitations of the budget. The challenges and actions of a sports game are those of the actual sport, but with the actions of the athletes' bodies mapped onto the control devices of the game machine. In the coaching role, the challenges are to choose the most appropriate strategy for the moment from among those offered by the game and to manage the athletes so that they don't become overtired or injured. The rules of a sports game are the rules of the sport in the real world. Sometimes you need to relax these rules in with respect to faults, fouls, or judgment errors that the player might make or errors outside their control. Sports games allow all possible modes of competition. Depending on the sport and on how many input devices your platform supports, you can offer single-player, competitive, cooperative, team, and league modes. Sports games sell far more copies for console machines than they do for PCs, primarily because console machines allow many people to play at once in the same room. One other competition mode you should consider including is one with no players at all, the computer versus itself. This allows the computer to play simulated matches that the player doesn't want to play. The victory and or loss conditions of various modes in sports games. Season mode, player selects an athlete or team and plays a series of matches throughout the season. Exhibition mode, play a single match, the match winner wins the game. Sudden death, play a single match but whoever scores first wins the game. Round robin, teams play each other's team a fixed number of times, whoever won the most matches is the winner. Tournament mode, a single elimination tournament, one match loss will result in the elimination from the tourney. Franchise mode, player controls a team over the course of several seasons. Opportunities for creative play include athlete and team creation, gives players the ability to create unique teams with various combinations of athletes and attributes. Strategy design allows players to set up their own strategies and adjust athlete roles and behavior. Playing field design allows the player to edit the shape of the playing field or import new playing fields made in other tools. Creating a sports video game of a completely invented sport is risky. Hardcore sports gamers seldom take an interest in completely new sports. When designing a completely new sport, consider designing around the limitations of your hardware. Many sports have special rules regarding weather conditions that affect play. Think about how the weather affects the athletes, playing field, and equipment, and adjust your core mechanics appropriately. Instant replay lets the players see the action from perspectives that they can't use when actually playing the game. This is an invaluable tool for capturing dramatic screenshots or gameplay footage for sales and demonstrations.